Okay, and welcome back. We are now talking to Credit Clear Group CEO, David Henschke. Look, David, I mean, I want to know about this technology, debt collection. Is that basically the type of solutions you're providing? Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, thank you, Kai, and pleasure to be here with you. Um, First and foremost, Credit Clear is a technology company, and we're building solutions that really have increased the effectiveness of customer interaction. So our technologies really we found particularly useful in receivables management, so effectively debt collection, where the technology is proving far more effective than traditional businesses. So our
And by that, you're
clients
talking about
typically.
people getting called up over the phone while they're having dinner, I assume.
Correct, correct. So, traditional methods is an embarrassing and often inconvenient phone call. You're at work, you get this call, and often people aren't answering these calls at all. And, it's just very inconvenient. And we're talking about a percentage of the population, a lot of people that invariably, you're juggling all these things, monthly payments, and invariably you get behind every now and then. So we're not necessarily talking the very small percentage that just will not end up paying a bill. It's more about helping them with their convenience, making it very easy to interact digitally with companies and pay their bills.
Okay, so look, why is that customer experience so important? I mean, people have fallen behind on their payments, even if it's by accident. They know they've got to pay. I mean, how much and why do you need to finesse this, the way you get the money off them?
Well, it's interesting today, and as you'd realise, sort of customers expect, and fair to say that they really demand, that organisations engage with them and treat with them as individuals, and really with understanding and empathy. So they also want simple and intuitive phone apps to manage most tasks, and they certainly don't want, like I said, the embarrassment and hassle and the people phoning and chase them. Whereas businesses have basically, a lot of them have moved their business model to subscriptions and installment type services, which really are there to nurture this long-term customer relationship. So think Netflix, gym memberships, the like. And they're looking for this enduring relationship. Customers want to be treated fairly and very easily to make payments, etc. So we just see this big opportunity, and it's part of a global transformation that we're in. So we're just moving with this times and getting in front of it and creating some really neat and intelligent apps to be able to engage with the customer.
Okay, so in other words, rather than getting phone calls from a customer, I mean, what would they notice different if someone is using your technology?
Well, it's a digital first, so in a lot of instances, they're receiving an SMS or an email or a WhatsApp from us, which are the primary communication channels. There'll be a link in there, but it'll be white label. We build a lot of trust into the messaging so that you're very confident it's coming from a legitimate business that that you owe money for. And then it's a simple click onto our platform. It'll allow you various different payment options, whether it's pay in full, set up a payment plan, or actually apply for genuine hardship. And it can be as easy as one click with Apple Pay, for example. But what's really smart about it is the artificial intelligence and machine learning that we build into it to ensure that we're sending the right message, the right person at the right time that really engages that individual. And that's where the real smarts come in our technology.
Okay, well, I'm sure people can read more about the special sauce you've got there. But tell us about this big acquisition you've made recently, Armour. I mean, we mentioned your title is Group CEO now. Why have you made this acquisition?
Well, it's very important to us. And we, Credit Clear, sort of proved with an acquisition of Credit Solutions, which was another traditional debt collection agency that we based in Adelaide that we bought back in December 2019. And we could successfully overlay our digital technology on their traditional debt collections business. Now that's contributed significantly to our growth. So this is why we've acquired Armour, which is a Sydney-based traditional debt collection agency. And we see that as even a bigger opportunity than credit solutions. It's going to fast track our revenue growth, significantly lift our earnings. They bring a whole heap of new customers, 400 odd plus, across multiple industries. And thirdly, it's given us some real capability because Armour's actually known to have the leading sales team in this industry. So we're really excited to join Credit Clear as we see considerable upside from this deal.
Okay, now I want to know what's next. You mentioned some big names, of the type of digital experiences that people have, such as Netflix. I mean, what are your international expansion potential looking? What does that look like?
Well, like I said, we've got fully transportable SaaS platforms, so we can roll this up into cloud and in various jurisdictions. There's obviously quite a bit of work to actually ensure that we get the regulatory overlay right. However, we've recently signed a global partnering and teaming agreement with a large South African debt collection agency called Tech Hub. They're roughly 4 times as large as what the combined Armour Credit Solutions is. So, that's going to see our digital platform being deployed across, their blue chip clients, particularly in South Africa, but they've got clients in the UK and US. So, that's a great opportunity for us. And we're also exploring other channels into the UK and US, as well as other global markets, which, it's really a huge opportunity for us. So we're going to push really hard into 2022.
Okay, and so I was just going to ask you what your outlook is for 2022. You've mentioned there's obviously quite a few opportunities there. So what should investors look for specifically this year?
Well, obviously a successful merger with Armour, which completes next week. So we're going to get some significant uplift there. They're already got new clients lining up to use our digital platform. So I think 2022 is going to see some really strong growth in the local market. We're also, working on the pilot right now, which is going to go live sort of in the next few weeks in South Africa. So assuming that's successful, then they'll roll that out over their large portfolio. And, we'll look to be up and rolling in the UK in 2022, as well as, early stages into the US. So 2022 is going to be a really big year for us. So, I'm really excited. It's a transition, it's really transformation of our own business. And, we'll see significant uplift, which is going to be fantastic.
Okay, David Henschke, the Group CEO of Credit Clear, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to hearing more.
Thank you, Kai, and thank you to the listeners.